So what is it that you really want in your life? What is it that you know you're here to do more of, or that you'd like to heal? Because healing is a term. It's been sort of captured by medicine, that if we're going to heal something, it has to be an illness, but really just not living your purpose, not loving as deeply as you can love, not being as passionate as you can possibly be. I made a little list of things that, what do you need to do, to heal? I mean, what do you need to do to heal, just literally heal and be more vital and have more vitality? Well, you have to have more energy, right? So is there a limit to the amount of energy? Is there, and why would you limit your energy? And I tell a funny story. My girlfriend, Marcella, who's flying back to Spain right now, very sadly, her son David is just a really cool kid, a lot of fun, but very laid back. And I was explaining to him what I do, and I was like, wow, we teach people to raise their energy, to have more energy, so that they can live their purpose and be totally who they want to be. And I think he said something to the extent, and which totally was just like, I was like, have I been wasting my life? And he said, why would I want more energy? As he's sitting on the couch, just relaxing and doing nothing. And it's just like, oh my God, why would I want more energy? And then I realized, oh, well, some people have enough energy and they're already happy and they're happy doing what they're doing. The problem is that if you're not happy with your life, if you are in resistance to it, if you are discontent with your life, which is the first step in any spiritual training, because basically when we're talking about the soul journey has to be something that you're looking for more. Now, of course, the ego, if you read Eckhart Tolle, he talks about, which we use in the school as one of our books, he talks about how the ego is constantly striving for more. It just always wants more, wants to control more, wants to get more, wants to have more. But, and of course, that is the shadow side of the truth. The truth is that the soul, okay, the soul, this is a depiction of how the soul, which is in the core of your being, and just sort of radiating out in all directions. It's an infinite well of energy that is constantly expanding, right? Okay, so you experience yourself as constantly expanding. So the soul's not saying, okay, got there, hey, look, we're out to here. That's far enough. I mean, God, what do you want from me? Why would I go further than that? I mean, Jesus, I'm safe here. This is good. I'm totally fine. And so maybe love is one of your issues, that you'd like to have more love in your life, but you got a limit to your vulnerability. You've got a limit to your unconditional acceptance of others. You have these limits that you have. And I really, truly, truly believe, and I named this talk, learning how to heal anything in your life. Heal anything in your life, which is what makes you a healer, by the way. If you want to be a healer, you have to heal something in your life. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go and get a major illness or have cancer or do something, or, you don't have to do that. That's not what healing is. Healing is the thing that's got you. What is it? Is it your inability to be seen in the world? Can you heal that? Not heal it like, I stood up, I said, hi, I'm here. Like, that's not being seen in the world. That's just faking it, right? When you want to be seen, when you're not afraid of being seen in the world, when you're totally willing to stand out as you are in your own uniqueness and your own craziness, you do stuff like I'm doing right here. And it's just like, why not? Why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I do this? And so what's your thing? What do you need to heal in you? You can't heal another person unless you've healed the thing that's in you that's the problem, right? So, and of course, the reason I use the word adventure is because an adventure, by its nature, is something you haven't done before. And In my book, I talk about, I don't know what chapter it's in, but it's one of the first 2 chapters. It talks about what I call vows. And I know that vow has sort of been captured by the super spiritual, which, those that know me, I teach all of this stuff, and I teach that this whole world of the energy field and the life purpose energy, I teach all these things. But the reality is that these things are solid. They're like, and energetically, they are very specific dimensions. Like if you're going to go fix your car and you don't know it's got an engine, it's got wheels, it's got seats, it's got a radio, it's got some of these things, but you don't know what this thing is that makes it run. That's why I teach the Rhys Thomas Institute. And if you haven't looked into it, go check it out. RhysThomasInstitute.com. And just check out what is it? What would it be like for you to know all about all of the working parts within you and know what it looks like when one of them's out of balance. And when one of those is out of balance, your life's out of balance. Okay. Your life's out of balance. And that's the thing that needs to get healed. And when you heal something that's real within you, you heal an actual dimension of your life. And when you do it, and when you become in contact with it, when you bring your attention to where the problem really is, you then learn what healing actually is, which is awakening to a deeper level of who you are. Not, so there's 2 ways, there's 2 ways to start the journey to healing. One is a crisis where you've paid so little attention to your life that you actually hit an emotional or a physical, and a lot of people say they have spiritual crises, but really that's just an emotional crisis for most people. Your spirit's not having a big problem with your life. Your emotions and your physical world your lower chakras are having issues with just not being able to control things and do things. And you have this massive crisis, and then it forces you to say, well, all right, I'm gonna, and then you call up your spirit, that's basically fallen asleep because you don't have any adventure in your life. You don't do things that keep it awake. And then you have to fight for that, and you bring it up, and maybe you bring it back, maybe you don't, but it's all based on survival, and it's exhausting because you use a lot of will in that. The other way to come into your life and into your power is to really step in and say consciously, I am going to make this, I'm going to go where no me has ever gone before. That's the key. Not no man has gone before, no woman has gone before. It doesn't matter where somebody else hasn't gone before. It matters where you haven't gone before. And if you want to heal something, whether you want to change something in your life, you have to do that. So here's the question for everybody. What did you do this summer? So summer's over. Yikes. I mean, I guess over in Europe, I don't know if they have, Labor Day or whatever it is, but somehow this is this transition here. We're transitioning into September. Kids all go back to school. You go back to work. It's like, oh God, it's just like, okay, summer's over. But when you were free, which you are programmed to be freer in the summertime than you are in the winter, right? You're programmed that way. Growing up as children, you're taught you can play, you can swim, you can do let's summer. You can be free to do anything you want to do, be anybody you want to be, right? But then come September, back to school, back to work, and then most of the year is work, and then a small part of the year is summer. So let's say during your time that you're free, which we want to turn that around. That might be the thing you need to heal. What do you do this summer? Write down anything you did this summer that was an adventure. Just write it down. Tell me anything you did this summer that was an adventure. And everybody in here should have at least 3 of them. Okay. I'd never been to France. I went to France. And I saw for the first time and was able to be totally in the presence of Rodin's amazing miracles of just brilliance. His sculptures were just totally, had I never taken that adventure to go to France, I'd never had that adventure, I could have never had that experience. I could have never woken up that part of me. That his art and also the Van Gogh. The two of them, I think the two of them were two human beings that were unwilling to just do anything that anybody else would do. They wanted more. They were unwilling to play small. They had to get the whole experience. And when you stand in front of their art and you feel what's happening in it, it's just, wow. And I could never have had that had I not gone to France. Okay. Now I've done a few other things too, but I want you to, so tell me what you did. Okay. Come in the next 3 years learning. Oh, great. Awesome. You came to the Rhys Thomas Institute. That is an adventure right there. And this is, and what we do in that adventure is so cool because that adventure just keeps pushing you in all kinds of adventures in every possible way. Anybody else? Nobody else had an adventure this summer? Thank you for sharing my video. Please share my video. Please share this video with everybody you've got. Hey, come on. Everybody needs this. Did the emotion code work as an adventure? If I adopted a dog, she was the reincarnation of my cat, my dog. Okay. So keep in mind that there are mental adventures, but I'm talking about real live, like get out and have an adventure. What adventure this summer? What did you do this summer that was an adventure? Well, what did you do in the last year? Forget this summer. How far do you have to go back? And everybody, please just type in on your computer. It takes no time at all. Type it on your computer. What did you do? What have you done in the last year that was an adventure? Anything. I mean, doing the emotion code online and taking a course online, is that really an adventure? Yes, it's a change. But what's a real adventure? Getting out, walking out of your comfort zone, getting out of your apartment, getting out of your house, going somewhere, flying somewhere, walking somewhere, running somewhere, doing anything that you've never done before is an adventure. I also went to Germany and I love sauerkraut. So I went to Germany. I had real sauerkraut and a knockwurst and all sorts of amazing things. Did that. And I also learned a new kind of dance. I'm learning to dance. I'm a terrible dancer, but total white boy dancer. But I am learning to dance, and I learned this summer. I decided I was going to learn hustle. So what is an adventure? An adventure is something that you've never done before and forces you to be a beginner. Oh, and remember the tarot deck? Everybody knows the tarot deck. What's the first card in the tarot deck? The Fool, right? The first card in the tarot deck is the Fool. You have to be a fool to go and try to heal your life. Okay, let's see. Working abroad. Okay, awesome. Simona, nice. Thank you for sharing that. I was too busy having a near-death experience to go somewhere. Oh, come on, Phyllis. You could have taken your near-death experience. And then near-death, I guess in some way, a near-death experience is a bit of an adventure. But like I said, that would be the crisis way of moving into your soul's journey. So, I need to increase my finances so that I can have adventures. Okay, Cynthia, I totally agree. And yet, is that the limitation to your adventures? I mean, you could have an adventure of, finding a new friend, right? It's like, how many new friends have you made this week, this month, this year? You could do that. You could go down. I mean, there's lots of free things to do. And so the idea, so remember that our vow that says, I've got to, I can't do this because of that. What's your because of? What stops it? Fool for love. There you go. Nice. Crisis time for, okay. Yeah. So, all right. So we got a few of those. So please keep adding those in. But this is the key. We start, the beginning of the tarot deck is the Fool. And it begins when we are sort of in that place of, I have to try something new. And how many of you, so many of you want to heal something, want to be a healer, want to, have more money. That was really, it's, Cynthia, you got to have more money, but you've never had more money, right? It's like you're the fool when it comes to money, but your brain says there's a right way to do it. And I have to do it like this. And I'm already doing it and I have to make more and I have to, it's like whatever you believe is going to, is going to stop you from being the fool. The fool has no idea how to do it. If you made it an adventure, it's like, whoa, money. I can see it. Everybody's got it. A lot of people have it. And I got to get it. And if you didn't know how to get it, what would you do? Are you sure that what you're doing right now is how you have the chakras? Remember, folks, really, 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 really important. You got 7 chakras, right? They're your law of attraction. They serve this line, this life purpose line within you, this Hara line, I call it the life purpose line because it's got all your contracts in it. If you don't have a contract for making money, you don't have a contract for making money. You don't have a chakra for that. Right? It's like you got to know who you are. That's why this is the foundation of what all of you need to do. Buy my book, discoveryourpurposebook.com, or go on to Amazon and buy my book. And it's called Discover Your Purpose. My name's Reese Thomas. Get that book because if you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know whether you have a chakra for that or not. And after you've learned the profiles, then you get my 12 Gateways program about the chakras, and you learn about the chakras. And then you listen and you start feeling what you have chakras for and what you've got. Okay. Okay. Helped Melinda move into a new house. Boy, that was an adventure. Okay. Dory, that was nice. Hi, Dory. So we have this need, this desire. Remember, we showed you the soul. And by our nature, we are constantly expanding and needing adventure. When you do not give your soul enough adventure, it falls asleep. And then without your soul energy, without the pure life force that you need to have enough passion to do any of these things. So what if it was healing? You want to be healing. You need more energy. Love. You need to be more vulnerable. You need to be more deep. You need to be more intimate. What if you need to be more courageous around stepping up and getting the job or trying something new or doing something? You've got to, that's in it. These are all adventures. This is what adventures look like, right? Fearless. You got to learn to be fearless if you're going to be courageous, right? So what are you afraid of doing? That, you're like, well, I'll do this and I'll do this and I'll do this and that'll be my adventure. That's not an adventure. That's not going to heal anything because it won't raise your energy. The problem is that you've made these vows, and I talk about vows in here. When you were a child, you knew that you were this infinite source of energy. We called it your secret place. And in the book, it talks about your secret place and teaches you how to access that pure non-form where you're big, where you're connected to all things, just like this, right? Just like when you are that, you are connected to all energies, all things, right? But then over a lifetime, we were told, no, don't do that. Don't be that. You've got to be this. Boys act like this. Boys wear blue. Boys do certain things. They certainly don't talk about chakras and stuff like that. God knows. And they don't hold up tarot cards. But wait a minute, who are you? But then we learn, we vow not to be certain things and always be other things. And I vowed to be an achiever, a man who's going to have a good paying job and be successful and all out there. And I do have a chakra for making money, but not the kind of, not, like my brother's got a chakra for making much bigger money. And he's a law attorney and that's what he's drawn to. And I'm drawn to helping people in the world. And I make a living and I have a really nice school and it's very supportive and all of that. But it's not about that. It's about the change I can make in people, what I can help people with. And so the world for me, which is the last card in the tarot deck, your goal with the world, so this is the universe. So in my deck that I use, it's the Fool and the universe, right? Not just the world, but basically, when you are exhibiting your whole self, you are the world, right? And to get there, it's an adventure. And that, I don't know how many cards are on the tarot deck, 80, 60, 80 cards, whatever you got in there. That's a lot. Okay. And every one of them is a stage of development you have to go through. And every one of them is a chakra. And every one of them is an adventure that you have to take on. You have to fight that fight. You have to feel that pain. You have to have that sense of receiving cruelty and victim. And you have to be able to do back. You have to go through all these things and make a choice. And you have to be willing to live your life. And that's the adventure. And if you're trying to heal something and you haven't gone on an adventure in the last year, a huge adventure, right? Like really take yourself out of your comfort zone. You don't have enough energy to change your life. Does everybody get this? So you want to heal anything? You got to have the energy. Okay. You got to have the soul energy, the non-form energy, not the will, not the, I'm going to do it and I'm going to build my muscles up and lift and, that's not the kind of energy that changes anything. That's the kind of energy that keeps you stuck. You're stuck. You're tired. You've got, issues at work. You're sick, whatever it is, that's because the pure amount of energy that flows through you isn't your energy. You're running someone else's energy. You're running it in a way that doesn't work for you. Okay. So what do? Well, let's just start with how many of you wrote in? So Dory wrote one in. So out of everybody on here, I don't know how many are on here. How many of you what did you do? Let's try it again. What did you do as an adventure this summer? This summer. And if you haven't done anything yet, it's not too late. I think you got there's another couple of weeks of summer, right? It's got the fire going back here. So in New Hampshire, it's already heading toward winter. But what can you do in your life that will challenge you? And if you have some excuse why you can't do it, that's what you need to challenge. Okay. That's your adventure. Your adventure is, what if I didn't have that excuse? What if I couldn't do that? And so I want to wrap up here. This is really, this is so important that how many times you give yourself an adventure in your life is going to be equal to your ability to live your purpose, to heal yourself, and to heal others. Remember I said before, if you haven't healed yourself of something really, really something you've never seen, it totally makes you the fool, the beginner. Like I'm learning to dance. I love to be a beginner again. I went back 25 years ago. I started martial arts as a beginner. And I wanted to do that after many, 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 many years of competing in tennis. I went into martial arts full, and I wanted to be a beginner again. And now with dancing, I'm a beginner again. And with the energy work was like, and I became a total beginner. And I love mastery. So I stick with it. Now I'm 16 years into energy medicine, and now I'm mastering it. But now it's dancing. Now it's like, okay, and not that I'm going to have a dancing school, but to be a beginner again, to challenge yourself, to have an adventure. And your adventures do not have to be expensive. I don't have to go to Europe to do, I didn't have to go to France to do that stuff. I could have probably, just gone to a local museum. There's probably plenty there right next door, So anyway, each of you, you want to be a healer. You want to heal your life. You have to be willing to heal something within yourself. To heal something within yourself is to do something you've never done before. Because when you are sick with something, it's because you can't see it. You may have the symptoms, but you have no idea what's causing it. And to go in and find the deepest purpose, the deepest cause that brings back the energy you need to be healthy again, which I've done in many, many areas of my physical body life. That's when you become a healer. That's when you can help other people. All right? And that's when you are healed, right? You're not thinking, I've fixed this and I'm going to watch out for it from now on. I'll never. No, when you're healed of something, it's done. It's like you'll never worry about it coming back because you are now holding energy at a higher level. That illness only exists at the lower vibrational level. As you expand your energy and hold it at that level, there are other issues you're going to get because you're constantly being asked to grow more and grow more. But that adventure for you is an adventure in energy, adventure in consciousness, the adventure in love, courage, abundance. This experience of, who said, I needed to make more money. It's like, your adventure would be the adventure in never needing anything. The adventure would be in lower your expectation. I know I talked about that before, but for people that are so found, I can't do anything in my life until I make more money. What if you just lowered your expectation? What if this was the only money you ever make and this is it? And you're just like, okay, I'm done. Perfect. I got it. It's everything I need. And within that is where I will find nirvana. And I guarantee that will heal something in you.